and we are live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook, and I will go like that, and I will turn the timer on. Good morning. I'll also turn the heater fan off because otherwise it's way too noisy. My apologies, close the door. Right, good morning. It's Wednesday. My morning was fairly free, but my afternoon and evening was heavily loaded with Tai Chi and other things, so hence the later start. And hopefully for some people that later start is more convenient. We will see. We will see how it goes in terms of viewing numbers and over weeks and months. Hopefully I'll try and figure out some kind of routine that suits me and suits the largest number of people. Right, if we get ready. So feet about shoulder width apart and just relax. Something that seems very odd to do in an exercise program, but I want you to start by doing nothing. Just breathe gently in and out through the nose. And as you do that, allow the legs to soften. You can adjust your stance if you need to, so you just become more comfortable, more grounded in Tai Chi terms. Never be afraid to relax. Never be afraid to do nothing. Sometimes doing nothing is the hardest thing to do. Breathe in and out through the nose, nice and gently. Keep the feet where they are, start to turn the waist. Relax the arms, let the arms float around the body. The waist turns and the head can turn with it. You can do this with the waist and shoulders turning and the head looking forwards like I am doing at the moment. And certainly if you become dizzy, if you turn the head, revert back to looking forwards. But if you can, turn the waist, turn the head, keep the hips fairly square. Keep the lower body relaxed. Keep that feeling of your body connecting down to the ground if you can. Try and increase the amount you're turning your waist a little, turn your head a little bit more as well, if you can. And bring the feet in a little. Take a second, re-establish that connection to the ground, and the legs straighten and bend, and the arms float forwards and backwards. once it goes ding, I'll explain a bit more about the ground connection idea. Or, yeah, sort of explain. The idea of a ground connection, or what in some martial arts, or including Tai Chi sometimes, is called rooting, is very prevalent and very important. But it's one of those things that, as far as this exercise sessions go, if you understand it and know what it is and can do it, then you're probably doing it anyway. And ding will happen in a moment. And if you don't understand it, well, I wouldn't worry, because you're probably doing it a lot of the time anyway. And oh gosh, I'm going to flip into sales pitch mode. Join my online program. Go to the website that you see mentioned at the bottom there, and from there you'll find a link to the on-site program details, and you can read the on-site program. Oh, sorry, carry on, I nearly changed there. Read the on-site, online, not on-site, my apologies, online program details, and you could join the online program. It's slightly less than $20 a month, and you could then attend the evening live sessions, as well as gaining access to a huge number of pre-recorded sessions. Change one leg, then the other leg. I'm still in sales mode. I'll try and get out of it as quickly as possible, because nobody likes sales mode, not even me. Yeah, you get all the pre-recorded sessions, courses, stuff teaching you stuff, Tai Chi, Qigong, all sorts of things. And yeah, then you would learn about routine, hopefully. But as I say, those of you that can are anyway, and those of you that can't, don't worry about it. One of the things I don't hate, that's too strong a word, one of the things I dislike about Tai Chi is that certain things that good practice generates anyway, and routing, I would argue, for most people is one of them, are things, keep going, are things that happen. You can spend time on them. By the way, my leg movements have been fairly subtle. I'm just going to make them a little bit bigger, just in case you're having trouble with this exercise. It's basically straightening one leg while bending the other. That's the simplest way of thinking about it. And the hips and waist are turning slightly, and that's what generates the relaxed diagonal motion in the arms. Whoa, I'm out of sales mode. Whoa, sigh of relief. Cheers from the gallery. Take the feet wider. Again, if you want, take a second, re-establish that feeling, connection, awareness of how your body is supported by the planet and its relationship, or the floor, if you want to be less grandiose. Less grandiose is the floor, more grandiose is the planet. Both are kind of correct. Change direction, trying to relax the legs as much as possible. Relax the legs. Relaxing the hips, the knees and the ankles. And even that's not really precise, because you're relaxing not the physical, sorry, it's going to go ding. I'm going to change direction, then I'll try and get my brain on track. Right, okay. What are you relaxing? You're relaxing the muscles around the joints. I suppose potentially, maybe, possibly a little bit, You're relaxing tendons, ligaments, whatever other bits there is inside the body. But if you just think about relaxing, can you still feel the floor change direction? And of course, actually, you're not really feeling the floor. Your feet are feeling, well, my feet are feeling the socks. The socks are in touch with the inner layer of the shoes, the outer layer of the shoes. It's complicated, this thing called life. Did I mention I'm a bit of a science geek, so I kind of overanalyze things. Just chill and relax. Okay, now we're going to raise one leg and we're going to raise the arm that is on the same side. And if you take your attention, in Tai Chi often the word is awareness, but attention is another nice word. If you take your attention to the foot that remains on the ground, you can feel the ground. You can switch to opposite leg and arm. You can have your attention in the foot. There's a game that we used to play in the playground of my senior school, so I don't mean we played it regularly, played it occasionally. So I'm going to wait till we change. Double lift with the arm and the leg. It's difficult to explain, but basically two people stand either side of you. You clench your fists and the people standing to the side put one hand on the underneath the fist and the other hand supporting above the elbow. You imagine you are in a elevator, a lift going down, change to opposite side, and after you've imagined that for a few seconds and really get into the idea that your body is going downwards at some speed, the people either side try and lift you. And it's hard, it's doable, but it's hard. Keep going, I'm going to change the exercise in a moment to the diagonal version of this, and then I will carry on with the same side, leg and arm, but being raised diagonally across the body. So then, there you are, with your hands clenched into fists, the people either side holding it. But now, after them lifting you once, you take your time and you imagine that you're in a lift or an elevator going up, and your body is rising, whoosh, up into the air. Switch to opposite leg and arm going diagonally, and then the people try and lift you. And the curious thing is, often, I'm not going to say always, but often, that second lift feels much easier. Aha, you say. That's because the people lifting you have got used to what they're doing. But, I say, where are we going? Diagonal, same side doubles. But, I say, you can do it a couple of days later and you can switch, or you can do it with a different person and you can switch it around. You can go up first in your mind and then down second. And the first time the people lifting you will find it easier than the second time. Opposite doubles. Sorry, I had to think there. And yes, you could do it as a blind test, and I think it would still work. So in other words, if nobody other than the person, well, say a fourth person telling people what to do, was arranging it, it will still work. Maybe one of these days I'll try and get some students and not tell them what we're doing, but just do it. That could be fun, be interesting. And relax. Very simple, rolling the foot forwards and backwards. The mind is very powerful and can have a pronounced effect on the body, for good or for ill. Oh, something's coming, flying over. Roll the foot side to side. And as I always say, allow the body to relax. So if the body moves as you're doing this exercise, great. I'm kind of fingers crossed today that this is streaming live on both Facebook and YouTube, because I altered some settings this morning and messed things up, so I had to reset things. Hopefully I've done that correctly. Switch to the other foot, roll forwards and backwards. For good or ill, the mind is very powerful. Tai Chi has a phrase, the yi leads the chi, meaning the mind leads the energy. And that's true in a fighting sense, it's true in a health and wellness sense, it's possibly true universally. The sort of change to rolling the foot side to side. The people, the positive thoughts, positive outcome brigade, the whole self-development brigade is kind of based on that idea that the mind leads the body. And it's generally true. There are certain things where obviously it's not. I can wish and think and believe that I'm going to fly under my own power like Superman. Ain't going to happen. The laws of physics are the laws of physics. Go to the other foot, other leg rather, and circle the knee. But there definitely are benefits in having a positive mindset. And having a positive mindset is often a learnt habit, or having a negative mindset, not innate. So circling the knee, change direction. And you might say, but I'm a glass half empty kind of person. Or you might say, but I'm a glass half full kind of person. That, I would argue, is learnt behaviour. And if it's learnt, you can modify it. Trust me, I know of wherefore I speak. In other words, I've changed aspects that at one time I thought were unchangeable. Other leg circling. I suppose the simplest for me would be a couple of things. Getting my black belt in karate after, 25 years of martial arts practice, 20 years of kind of getting no recognition, or getting a degree from university after change direction, by the way, 3 years full study. How long ago was that? 12 years ago? I was in my 50s anyway. So I left school at 17 and waited many years before going to university and getting a degree. There are things you can do, there are things you can change. And if you want to change things, do it. Okay, nice and simple. Leg up and out. As you know, if you train regularly with me, sometimes we put the arm in. And I just want to focus on the excuse me, on the hip this morning. So focusing on trying to raise it a little bit higher, take it a bit further round and round to the front. No rush. Whatever speed works for you. Change to the other side. opposite direction, out to the side, then around to the front. Relax. Feet comfortably wide. Get that feeling of being connected to the ground if you want to. Circling the upper body. Nice and gentle circles with the upper body to start with. I'm gradually making the circles bigger, but that's changed direction. That's just because I want to. If you want to stay with really quite small circles of the upper body, that is fine. It's really a question of, what's it a question of? Just seeing how you feel. What do your muscles, your spine, what do the bits want to do? And then just gradually encouraging them, change direction, gradually encouraging them to do a bit more, but we're not going for huge circles at this point. We might come back to this exercise. In fact, I have a plan. He has a plan. I have a plan to come back to this exercise in a few minutes, and we will do them bigger, but for now, just comfortable. Other direction. Bring the feet in a little bit. We're bending the upper part of the spine. We're letting the head go side to side, and we're raising deliberately the shoulder. Interestingly, in Tai Chi, you never raise the shoulders. You keep the shoulders down, but from an exercise point of view, there are times when working the shoulder, keep going by the way, through a full range of motion is really awfully sensible. In fact, pretty much all the time working through full ranges of motion is pretty sensible. There are exceptions. Upper part of the spine from about here is where I'm trying to bend. So it would be forwards and backwards. Not stretching, just letting the body go forwards and backwards as much as it wants to. Keep going. Take the feet out just a little bit, gently stretch side to side. So it's a range of motion exercise with a little extra at the end. So it's just a gentle stretch. We're not going mad, we're not holding the stretch, we're just gently, slowly going from side to side. Do it at whatever speed is comfortable. going. Bring the feet in slightly, roll the shoulders forwards, take them backwards. As you roll the shoulders, bend the upper part of the spine forwards, bend the upper part of the spine backwards, tuck the chin in, look up, take the chin up. Keep the legs a little bit relaxed. Doesn't matter too much actually whether you have the legs straight or relaxed, but I would say I prefer really drawing in the shoulder blades, pulling the shoulders across, so pulling the shoulders together in the front, pulling the shoulders together at the back. So the shoulder blades are doing a lot of work, as I suspect are the pecs and all sorts of muscles that I really should know more about. And relax. Feet slightly wider. Bend down. Circle round. Now we're going for circles that are as big as we can comfortably manage. Change direction. Change direction. Change direction. Straighten up, bring the feet in, rotate the shoulders. Fairly slowly, fairly full range of motion. As you do that, pay attention to the connection of your feet to the ground. Relax the legs, let them soften and bend, sit back ever so slightly. Tuck the pelvis under. Keep going in the same direction. Try and increase the range of motion. Nice and gentle, nice and slow, but as full a range of motion as you can. Whilst your attention is still, change direction now. Whilst your attention is still significantly planted into your feet, into your connection with the ground. If you can relax the legs a little bit more, great. But keep the shoulders going. That's what we're working on. Bigger range of motion if you can. And of course you can. Take the hands out to the side. I'm just going to move across. Circle the hands, palms up towards the ceiling. Relaxing the legs a little bit more. Tuck the pelvis under a little bit. Keep going in the same direction. Change direction. Keep going. Ten more seconds. Arms drop down and then start to circle them round in front of the body. Now sometimes, as you know, we do this, assuming that you've been doing these sessions with me regularly, we do this with a much wider stance, but today I'm deliberately narrowing the stance. Yes, the hips are moving to aid the motion. Keep going. If you find you're getting a bit faster, that's okay. Find the speed that where your hips and arms feel almost as if they are directly connected, which of course they are, but in the movement there is a feeling of connection. Change direction. You should also, I know I'm wittering on about it today, you should also still continue to feel and be aware of and be attentive to that feeling of the feet touching the ground. Isn't that a lot to do when all you're doing is circling your arms? Golly gosh, gumdrops. Keep going. Relax, circle the arms backwards. You can generate a small bounce in the legs to aid the movement if you like. So there is a connection between the legs bending as the hands go down, the legs straightening up as the hands come to the top, or to help the hands come to the top. Keep going. Change direction of the arms. By the way, just in case you wonder, when I say keep going, it's not entirely aimed at you. It's also aimed at me. The whole point of exercise, even the gentle exercises that we're doing here, is that it's not 100% comfortable. There is an element, keep going, there is an element of, oh, I'm doing a bit of work. Can't I stop and have a cup of tea, or coffee, or a double scotch? And so the keep going is for me as well. Come on, Robert, keep going. Tuck the elbows in, rotate the hands. Keep the legs relaxed and bent. Change direction. Both in the same direction, try and relax the legs a little bit more. Both in the opposite, same direction. Okay, I'm going to step in a little bit. We're going to have one hand in the centre of the body, fingers open. The other hand also in the centre of the body but higher up. We're going to sit down a little bit. I'm going to close the fingers on the lower hand, punch forward, and then as the lower hand goes up, the other hand comes underneath. So the hand where I'm clenching the fingers is going up and over the other hand, which I'm opening the fingers and coming down. Trying to make the fist quite a tight, strong fist with the thumb on the outside of the fingers. This is not a Tai Chi fist, this is more, well, this is technically a Wing Chun Kung Fu fist because this exercise comes from there. Although the intent here, the reason for the exercise is different. In Wing Chun Kung Fu, when you do this and similar exercises. And I may be telling a lie there, because I only did Wing Chun Kung Fu for 6 months, and that was many years ago, and I'm not actually certain that we did this exercise in exactly this manner, so this might be my adaptation. But the point is, and yes, Robert will eventually get to the point is that what you're doing is stretching at the bottom and tightening the fingers, making the fingers work. As I've said before, you're more likely to need strong fingers to open a jar than to fight somebody off. Now, we're now going to go to a loose fist. It's just gentle. And then you just throw the fists after one another. I'm going to slow it right down. That's the motion. And then once you're comfortable with that motion, you speed it up to whatever speed you're comfortable with. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the elbows relaxed. Don't allow the arm to go all the way out. You're not trying to hyperextend the joint. Keep the joint slightly bent. And try and go as fast as you can. The more relaxed you are, the quicker you'll be. Is it hard work? Oh yeah. One of the few exercises that we do where yes, the heart rate will go up, yes, you will be a bit out of breath. Big, wide circles, so pushing up and out, up and out, up and out. And now down and out and round and down and out, pushing backwards there. Really extending the shoulder joints. And that's what it looks like from the side. My thanks for this exercise to a really good Chen style Tai Chi instructor, Sifu Nick Taylor. He was the one that introduced me to this, and I like it. So I'm more than happy to share it with you. I know he would credit his instructor, and possibly his instructor would credit his instructor, all the way back to whenever it was actually first done. But it's just a nice arm and shoulder exercise. And relax. Okay, I'm going to slow things down a little bit now. I'm going to do a couple of stretches, maybe more, I have no idea. The first one, Weight on one leg, hands above the knee, gently bend down towards the foot. Stay with the same leg, take the hands lower down if you can. If you can go lower, or if you can actually hold on to the toes, by all means do so. Pulling the toes in effect back towards you ever so slightly, letting your body stretch out towards the toes. Keep going. That's very much me telling myself to keep going. This is hard work, but I can do it, and I'm sure you can do it too. Gently, slowly straighten up, go to the other leg. Stretch down, hands resting lightly above the knee. Hands go gently below the knee. If you can, grab the toes, pull them back ever so slightly. I'm also straightening the foot up. I notice when I do this, my ankle is turned slightly outwards, so I'm straightening the position of the ankle there. But don't worry too much about that. Going. I must say, not only does the leg that I'm stretching ache, the supporting leg that's bent, the thigh muscles there, are really protesting. So it's about sending thoughts of relaxation and love to all the muscles that you're stretching or loading. Gently, slowly, get up. Oh! Put the hands on the hips. Push forwards. Lean backwards. Maybe adjust your stance out a little so you feel nice and comfortable looking up at the ceiling. Or maybe even, if you're flexible, looking a little bit behind you. Concentrate on lengthening the spine, not just bending it. So you want to have a feeling, especially in the lower spine, that you're stretching it up, not just back. Gently come up, circle the hips, really start slow, small, gentle circles. Gradually you can increase them if you want to. I'm also just again adjusting the width of my stance so that I feel comfortable, and this thing which I talked about early on about feeling connected, grounded, rooted, whatever word you want to use, to the floor. Opposite direction, again starting small, gentle. Basically because you've stretched the muscles around the base of the spine, and so we're just saying hi, we're just sort of easing them off a little. I prefer the idea of saying hi. It appeals to my sense of humour, but there you are. What can I say? Okay, we're going to come in for this next one. Next exercise, very simple. Arms down by your sides. Bend the legs, sit down, tuck the pelvis. Head turning side to side. Gentle stretch, increasing or maintaining the rotation of the head in this horizontal manner. Keep going, by the way. We'll do each of the neck stretches for about a minute. So oops, sorry, keep going. No, don't keep going. My bad. Hands on chest, chin up, chin down. I've been playing with this exercise. There's a couple of different ways that I think have value. One is to tuck the chin in, and the other is to pull the chin down. So that's chin tucked in, that's chin pulled down. And you can, of course, do one of each. So chin in, chin down, chin back obviously, chin in, back, down, back, in, back, down. And you should feel different areas of neck muscles being engaged. Looking straight forward, so I'll just turn to camera, tilt the head, raising one ear up to the ceiling, then raising the other ear, all the time trying to keep the legs bent and a significant portion of your awareness focused on the feeling in your feet as they connect with the ground. Obviously, connect with the ground is more a Tai Chi term than a physics term. I don't actually think your feet are growing any kind of physical roots, but there certainly is a root that can be developed. Take the head forward, bring the chin in, forwards, in. I'll just switch to the side. In, out, in, out. Keep going. Keeping the head upright, taking it side to side. going. Tuck the chin down, keeping the chin down, touching the chest, roll the head side to side. Keep going. Hands down to the side, head in a big U shape, down to the chest, up towards the corner. Keep going. And relax. Okay, we threw in a little bit of Wing Chun. Let's go the whole hog. Let's throw in a little bit of karate. Put your arms up and just gently kick forwards. So we're going to raise the knee, flick the foot out. You do not, or you very rarely, kick like this in Tai Chi. Tai Chi kicks tend to come more from here. This is a little flick of the foot. Let's just do that. And now, flick the foot gently, pardon me, out to the side. Obviously, make sure you have space to so do. The foot's coming up, flicking out, up, flicking out, up, flicking out. This is not really a karate kick. This is a bit lackadaisical for a karate kick. But it has the effect I want of raising the leg and then just extending it to the side. Now we're going to do the same thing behind. Up and back. Up to the front and back. Up and back. Up and back. Up and back. I'm not trying to kick high. I'm just gently putting a bit of energy, bit of motion into the legs. And relax, circle the hips. Done a lot of hip circling. As you know, I'm a big fan of hip circling. I'm going to bring the changes in a moment though. Change direction. Now, normally when we hip circle, the head stays pretty much in the same position. But we have done once or twice kind of what you might term the opposite exercise. Keep the hips square and rotate the head. Now do not rotate the head in place. Rotate the head, keeping it fairly straight. You're rotating the head by rotating the body. Change direction. relax and give yourself, oh, a nice general loosening up, shaking out. Do the hokey cokey and no, don't do the hokey cokey. Anyway, that brings us hopefully to the end of today's session, and thank you, whether you've joined in with it just now or whether you are looking at it in its recorded format. Any questions, any comments, please contact me. That's perfectly okay. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and hope you get everything you wish for today. Ciao.